It's the SKOR North Twins Show. Baseball!
All right, SKOR North Twins Show. We are at full strength. Mackey's back. Coach Trev on a Tuesday here after a holiday weekend. Twins on their longest road trip of the season. And in fact, I know I've always said don't let the Twins get hot. Coming off back-to-back losses for the first time in a very long time for this Twins team. So a lot to get to on the SKOR North Twins Show. Hit the like button and subscribe button because we didn't do a State of the Twins yesterday on Monday. We're going to combine a little bit of a State of the Twins with Trevor Plouffe here to kick things off. But a shout-out, Phil, to Dennis Kirk for all the motorcyclists out there, all the Ragnars, all the Danny Gladdens out there. Where should they get their motorcycle parts and accessories?
That's right. Mullet not provided with your Dennis Kirk purchases. But, yeah, Dennis Kirk is here for riding season, motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, dirt bikes. Hell, even if you're looking ahead to snowmobile season, if you're like a weather fatalist, Dennis Kirk has you covered with over 185,000 parts, apparel, and accessories, all the top brands. The second annual Minnesota Garage Build Bike Show is also coming up, powered by Dennis Kirk, Saturday, June 7th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Running Aces Casino. So you can find out more at DennisKirk.com.
Baseball!
Vroom, vroom.
All right. State of the Twins. How you doing, Coach Trev? Good to have you back, man.
It's good to be back. I'm doing well. Yeah, long weekend was nice. I was coaching a lot of youth baseball, which is like equal parts awesome to see the kids and then horrible because other coaches are just insufferable at this age. I had to put a couple in their place who were just doing silly things. So, yeah, it's just.
What are like the number one or number two sort of youth coaching pet peeves that you have?
Well, they take it too seriously. It's 9 and under baseball. And, at this age, you just want the kids to learn the game. I think sportsmanship is such a huge part of the game at this age, which, a lot of coaches don't really enforce that. There's a lot of just silly antics going on. But the specific thing that happened this week and that really pissed me off was that I had a third base coach looking into our catcher and just, he just holds his fingers like too far out, like 1, 2, we throw like, a change up and a fastball. And he was letting his hitters know fastball or changeup. And like, I know this right away. He's calling their first name for fastball, last name for off speed. So I called time and I went to the first base coach and I said, listen, guys, it's 9U baseball. Like, we don't need to be giving signs. He's actually, he didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, your coach on third base is doing this. And he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell him to stop. So it's like, come on, like, you want to win a consolation bracket game that bad where you're going to give your kids the pitches?
I know the sports dad loves the cutthroat nature of that. Listen, teach your kids, keep those signs in tighter.
Like, that's fine. That's fine. And we tell
it's time for pitch comp, Trev.
We tell him to do that.
It's time for pitch comp. It's time for pitch comp. Fastball. Change up.
The guy, he was so ashamed when he knew that I knew what he was doing. He was just so ashamed too. So
you have a major league baseball player in the other dugout who has clearly deciphered more complicated ways of figuring out what pitch is coming.
I had his signs too. This. I had them too. I wasn't going to feed my kids.
You should have fought fire with fire, Trev. Told your kids, hey, Burnett.
What was the steal sign? You picked it off?
Oh no, this was he is calling pitches too.
Oh, got it. Okay.
It was like up, down, left, right, all these silly things. But it's like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing here, sir?
You should have pulled out the trash can banging method. Throw it right back at him.
It gets frustrating. But it was a good weekend and all. Our team got their butt kicked, but still fun.
Okay.
That's good.
Nice. Yeah. All right, so State of the Twins. Here's an overview here. So the Twins are 29 and 24. They're in second place in the AL Central. Got 3 teams that are once again just jumbled up here between Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City. Twins and Cleveland tied at the top of the wild card spot. Some overall key categories for the Twins this season. They're actually 22nd still in runs scored. I know they've been better over the last month, but still, I think even in the last 30 days, they're still like 15th or 16th. So even if you remove the slow start, they haven't really been a juggernaut on offense in terms of just totality of runs scored. And team OPS, they're 22nd, but where they have thrived offensively, runners in scoring position, they have the 3rd best batting average this season with runners in scoring position. Some key categories. Pitching-wise, team ERA, the Twins are 5th. Their starter ERA is 6th. Their bullpen ERA is 4th. So the pitching obviously continues to carry the Twins. Some playoff odds here. Again, roller coaster playoff odds from Baseball Reference. So as of this morning, the Twins only have a 30.8% chance to make the playoffs, according to Baseball Reference. That's down almost 16 points in 7 days. So the Twins took 2 out of 3 from Kansas City, took 2. The whole rain delay situation has my brain a mess, but had the walk-off win against Cleveland in one of those doubleheaders. They lost game 2 of it. So there was some back and forth with the divisional rivals. But 30% chance on Baseball Reference, but on Fangraphs, the Twins have a 66% chance, which is second best in the AL Central. I don't know how the stew is made. You got 2 different sites there that are combating a little bit. But Trev, we always do vibe checks on Monday on the state of the Twins. What are your Twins vibes here as they're in this very long road trip before heading back home at Target Field?
I also don't understand percentages, so you're not alone there. That doesn't make any sense to me. Twins vibe checks for me. Vibes are good. I think that vibes will be better as we, go into this road trip and possibly get a Wallner, possibly get Buxton back. I think obviously the offense, hasn't been, they've been struggling. They don't score a ton of runs. You're right about runners in scoring position. Some of these tight games, those numbers would mean nothing if the pitching staff wasn't performing like they were. Because you can hit with runners in scoring position and have a great batting average, but it's how many opportunities are you actually getting and how many runs you're actually scoring. So I think offensively, vibes are okay because there's been some guys. Clemens has stepped up. Ty France has stepped up. Brooks Lee hits the walk-off hit, has a chance to do it again the next day. So I think they're putting themselves in some positions to get some experience in these good situations. But really, I would say vibes are good total, but can be a lot better. The only thing I'm worried about is we might get a full lineup in. Maybe not a full lineup in Seattle, but if it does happen in Seattle, that's one of the worst places to hit in all of baseball. So I don't want these guys coming back and struggling right away. So maybe we hold it off until we get to face the A's at Sutter Park, where the vibes can be great offensively. I don't know.
It's a great hitter's ballpark. That's Sutter Park. Yeah.
God, it's a tough spot.
It's if you've watched any of the games there, it is mayhem. It is crazy. No lead is safe.
3 years there, right? 3 seasons.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? That's what they're scheduled to be there for 3 years, but it's crazy. If you watch the games there, the Twins. I'm just hoping it doesn't mess. Seattle will mess the hitters up because it's a mind what to hit there, and then to pitch in Sacramento. Hope that doesn't get in the pitcher's head either. It's going to be a weird series here. I will be on the call for it though.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Very good. On a scale, Trev, of Cody Clemens being the hidden gem and Cody Clemens maybe being Chris Colabello 2.0, which you were around for the Chris Colabello insane start, I believe. There was that 2013 or 14.
I think it's 14.
How legit? How legit do you buy the Cody Clemens stock here? Because I keep telling Mackie and Judd they have to apologize and acknowledge the greatness that is Cody Clemens here, slugging like 650 on the season. But how much do you buy this kind of recent stretch from Cody Clemens?
I don't think it's far-fetched to say that he has the ability to do these things. Now, to do it over the course of 162 is different, and he probably won't have to do that, so that's fine. If he finds himself in these roles, let's say everyone's back and he's relegated to playing maybe once or twice a week, but then coming in some pitch hitting spots. If he's comfortable in that, then let him continue to do that, and I could see him contributing all year long. I think that's a fair assessment. Chris Colabello, by the way, he was a hell of a hitter, man. And there wasn't much else he could do on the baseball field. He couldn't really run, couldn't really play a position, but he did understand what to do in the batter's box. He's an enigma to me. Obviously he gets popped for the steroids and he denies it vehemently. So I don't know if I want to put that on him, on Clemens, but yeah, I think he's found a role, and I think he's found some confidence that he can continue through the rest of the year.
I mean, is he going to get a bobblehead? That's the question. Because Calabello got a bobblehead.
Cowbell.
Right?
No.
It was a cowbell.
Yeah, cowbell.
He got a bell.
It was the cowbell.
The cowbell.
I think they had a bunch of bells too, and they're like, "This is perfect. We got a guy named Calabello who's hot. Let's give away these bells."
He also was a guy that would like go to the marketing team, like, I need something. Like he was very much. Yeah.
Oh,
Calabello, nice guy. He also was extremely like confident in himself, like overly confident. Like he probably shouldn't have been as confident as he was, but that's probably why he, could swing the bat a little bit. He got a great story. You can't hate on that story, man. Like coming up through the independent leagues, finally getting a shot, and like I said, he put together some stretches there.
I would think that would humble you though. Like you wouldn't be too cocky. I would think that you would be like, I made it from this. It's great. And like appreciate it, as opposed to, I need some type of promotion because I'm playing so well right now.
His thing was, I've hit every single where I've ever been. That was his thing.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? You have. So what am I supposed to say to that?
Yeah, he was 27 years old and just raking in Worcester, I think, in the Can-Am League, the Canadian American Association.
He played them, I think, in the independent leagues for like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, he was in the Indies because he wasn't drafted, right? He just where'd he go to? Yeah, did he play college ball somewhere? He went to Assumption University in Worcester, Massachusetts, after going to Milford. He's a Northeast guy.
Yeah, yes.
And he played a few years at a small college and absolutely demolished the Indies for like 7 years. And then the Twins signed him, and because he was 28 when they signed him, they just put him right in Double-A. Just, all right, you might as well find out. He's 28, can he hit Double-A pitching? And the answer was yes, he can hit Double-A pitching. So I think before we can put Cody Clemens on the level of Chris Calabello, I think we need some sort of like, does he get it's not a bell, but is it something? Is it a bobblehead or something?
Well, he's got a glove from his dad. Like he got a Roger Clemens. He's got like one of the gloves from his dad because he's also Cody Clemens struck out Shohei Ohtani like 3 years ago on the pitching mound. Like he came in as a position player to pitch and struck out Shohei when he was, I think, still with the Angels at the time.
Just throwing gas.
So I mean, not only do you have to worry about pitching around Cody Clemens, he might get on the mound and strike you out. So you got to be a little careful.
Shohei is not a great hitter agaagainst position players, guys.
No, he's not. That's 2 strikeouts,
like,
right?
2 for 2, 2 homers. This guy
That's
right here. That's right. Respect.
Barry Bonds over there.
Yeah.
Who?
All-time leader.
Andrew Romine was one, and Kike Hernandez the other.
That's right. This guy's never stood a chance. What pitches were they? Ephus pitches or?
I think Romine was a curveball, like a hanging curveball, and then Kike was a high and away fastball.
Okay.
Yeah. Walk-off homer. How do you not know this, Phil? Come on.
Wait, you had a walk-off homer against a position player?
Yes.
So they ran out of pitchers.
It was the 16th inning. It was Dodgers Phillies.
Oh,
it's like 1 a.m. or worse. And I think it was.
Hold on, I gotta find this.
I think it was Rich Hill was supposed to come in the game, and I was in a pinch hit. Then all of a sudden, Kike was out on the mound, and I was like, all right, I could do this. Wow.
So they're heating up like a 40-year-old who wasn't supposed to pitch that. That's amazing.
Phil, do you have a vibe check for the Twins here?
Well, I mean, since last time I was on the SKOR North Twins Show, I know they lost a couple of games in a row here, but to me, Twins vibes have been saved even with these 2 losses. They're now in a position where they can like absorb a couple losses, and it doesn't because I don't think it was hyperbole 3-4 weeks ago when I was on this show saying at 8-15 or whatever they were I think 8 games under, 7 games under, that another loss or 2 kind of ends your season. They were kind of, you can't fall 10 games, 11 games, 12 games below 500 in May and expect to dig out of it and just pull a 13-game win streak out of your keister. So I would say the fact that they can absorb a couple losses and it's fine. Everything's fine because they've steadied themselves. They're definitely like they got to be better on the road. They have one of the worst road records in the American League. But Target Field, people are showing up again.
Yeah.
There was a line to get in the stadium.
The weekend was great.
Oh my goodness.
This weekend, All right.
Saturday, Sunday was fantastic.
Yeah, 30,000 plus on Saturday and at Sunday's lines. I got there kind of closest to first pitch on Sunday, It was wrapped almost all the way around to like where the Green Line light rail entrance. I was like, what is, and that was not the Royce Lewis giveaway day. That was just a Sunday, beautiful day in Memorial Weekend. I was pleasantly surprised to see how packed it was.
That was first pitch. There was still a line out the door.
Yeah.
They can't get these people in the stadium fast enough. That seems like something we need to work on. That's ridiculous.
I think it was more of the latter, I'll be honest, Trev. Like, I was like, what? Why are we having, why is there 250 people wrapped around with, like, TSA out?
Yeah,
like, what's
what?
going on? Is there an outage here? How difficult is it to get into the stadium at this point?
Okay.
Judd, how about you? Any vibe check for the Twins here?
I think the vibes that I sensed, despite the back-to-back defeats, are the vibes are confident. The vibes feel confident now. Like there was definitely, and it was well earned in the month of April, a lot of doubt that you could sort of pick up on. They didn't talk about it, but you could pick up on it. I feel like the vibes are confident now. And as we discussed last week, the nice thing now is you're back to like, because you got off to such a bad start, it's still not good, but you're back to a point of, okay, if you put together now consistent games, and the pitching's been great, they are now competitive, which I, honest to God, about April 20th, thought they are completely screwed. So it's good. It's good to see.
Yeah.
It is good.
It makes for a more intriguing summer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I the vibes are fine, and not fine like as in that's their ceiling. They're fine. Like they've stabilized things, and they've gotten hot, and pitching's been good. I want to talk, though, to Trev kind of about some of the things. I picked Ryan Jeffers' brain on Friday pregame after BP because he's having a great offensive season. And it's not a surprise to see him like put up some of the numbers he's putting up. He had a stretch last year in the month of May, by the way, where his OPS was like flirting near 1,000. And 2023 was a great breakout year for him after kind of dipping back and forth a little bit. But Trev, he said he's made some mechanical changes that have really kind of simplified his swing. Starting with getting rid of the toe tap, and then also getting rid of his barrel tip. I don't really know what barrel tip means. Can you explain that to a guy who really can't hit a baseball at all?
I got a bat right here.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Barrel tip is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a mechanism to feel your hand. Sometimes it's a timing thing as well. But if you're struggling with your timing, then a lot of guys will get away from it so they can set their hands where they want to fire from. So a barrel tip is just this.
Full screen.
Oh, so you're literally
just a little tip. Yeah. You get up here, tip, boom. That's it. I mean, there's nothing special, but when you feel like your timing isn't there and you might be in between pitches or you're just late on the fastball, your timing can mean a ton of different things. You always want to go back and eliminate any excess movement. So a barrel tip will be excess movement. A toe tap can somewhat be excess movement as well. And, guys will go from tipping their barrel to where they get the barrel when they want to fire. So you'll see a lot of guys just get back here when they're not feeling good timing wise. They'll just get back to where they want to fire from and just kind of stay there. So they feel like they gain a little bit of a recognition phase where they're not moving, and it's just more direct to the ball. That's all it would mean.
If we were to put together a Mount Rushmore of barrel tippers in baseball history, the George Washington would be Gary Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield's there.
Aggressive barrel tipping.
Interesting barrel tipping would be like, I think even Euclid could be a barrel tipper.
Yeah. Well, that was like, kind of that was
extreme.
Like kind of everyone
Craig
does it. I
Counsell.
mean, you can even the Ken Griffey Jr. circular motion in the back is, I guess, technically a barrel tip. It's just you'll see throughout 162, you just feel so different at the plate. You try not to. You try to be consistent as possible. But you'll see guys tinkering with their hands all the time, and their setup and all the things. You'll get to the same spot usually, but it's how you get there that kind of changes. So
yeah,
that's what he's doing.
His barrel percentage too is like in the 90th percentile. Last year was kind of lower. And Judd, I asked about, because Jeffers is using that torpedo bat still, and I asked him, when you get a ball on the inner side of the plate with that torpedo bat, are you more likely, to pop it out more or pop it for a home run more, or just hit it harder? And he said there's a smaller percentage that when you miss hit on the inside of the zone with your torpedo bat, that it does lead to a higher exit velocity and a higher, harder hit rate. So makes a lot of sense why a guy's barrel percentage has gone up so well, and why his just offense in general has been so dang good this year.
Yeah.
I saw him wearing the Mauer shoes last night. Was that the first game he wore them?
Yes.
I think
yeah,
so.
he
Went
said he's
over. That's tough. It's a tough look right there. You can't do those in the
Double
Mauer
play
shoes.
too. Bad one.
Yeah.
Inopportune time for that. Double play.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like the guys try to make adjustments throughout the years. I mean, it's what you should be doing. And we might see him by the end of the year go back to the barrel tip if he's all of a sudden feeling like, man, I'm really like pressing my hands forward. I'm not really feeling the whip in my hands. And you might see him go back to the barrel tip and kind of get that feel again.
He tried a torpedo bat. I think he shelved it, and then did he get a different type? Is that why he went back to it? Because I know some guys tried it initially. Once Judge had used it, I think, or the Yankees had, and then some of them then ordered different specs. Trevor,
yeah, they're very specific to the player. So I think initially, and Judge didn't use it, but there were some Yankee guys that did.
That's right. Okay.
You can get. I'm sure the bat companies were rushing to get these out as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then realizing what it's really made for, you have to be specific to the player. So I'm sure the second go around was probably a little bit more dialed into your certain specific swing path and pattern and stuff. Okay. So I think that's probably what's going on throughout the league.
Okay.
But yeah, you're still, it's funny how nobody really talks about it anymore. And the first week was oh my gosh, is this illegal? There was pitchers coming out and saying, we should ban this. And it's dude, I don't know.
It winds up being just more of a referendum on the Orioles than anything else, right? Wasn't that the team was it the Orioles pitching staff? Milwaukee.
It was the
Brewers they got. Well, honestly, the Yankees have been the best offense in baseball, so it's really tipping the cap to them, which is crazy, but they are.
I don't know. Maybe they figured out the pitch tipping signs or something. Maybe the opposing catchers are putting their hands. Well, they got the pitch.
Judge. I mean, Judge is hitting 400 still. So
isn't that crazy?
That's
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, a quick shout out, by the way, to Grandpa's Barbecue. You can discover the taste and tradition of Grandpa's original barbecue sauces. Plus, they have some great dry rubs, the Sweet Barbecue, Mill City Steakhouse blend. Go to grandpasbarbecueshop.com. Every Twin Show listener gets free shipping on orders of $40 or more. Plus, all proceeds go to xeroderma pigmentosum, which is a rare genetic disorder. So when you're buying Grandpa's Barbecue products, you're also helping out a great cause. Go to grandpasbarbecueshop.com to place your order.
Also, we're looking to raise some awareness for an important cause all throughout the month of May. Coming up this Saturday, May 31st at Legends Crossings at Vikings Lakes, Egan, you can help spread awareness and understanding that help is available for those that struggle with mental health issues, and specifically suicide tends to affect the construction industry. And this walk is the Construction Hike for Hope on Saturday. You can find out more information at afsp.org, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, afsp.org/MN Construction.
Baseball.
Trevor, we talk about this guy a lot, but I think it's worth probably circling back on. Royce. He's 0 for his past 18. I think he's at 148 for a batting average right now. When you watch, because I actually thought that I saw some progress of late, and he definitely, again, is scuffling. What's your assessment when you watch his at-bats and his approach right now?
I think he could be one of those guys that could start to eliminate some things in his swing and really pare it down and find that. He's hit some balls hard, but consistently to do that is kind of what I think he needs to. He's confident. We know that. But when you're not getting the results, that starts to, it doesn't matter who you are. That confidence starts to get eaten away a little bit. I think, yes, he needs to eliminate some movement going on there, and until he can really find the timing, and then you can kind of reverse engineer it and go back and do what you normally do. I almost feel like every time I watch him, it's just a matter of time, but it has taken almost a little bit too much time, if that makes sense. It's really interesting watching him play right now, but I still have the feeling, I guess you kind of feel the same, that it's almost there. But I guess how long can you wait before making an adjustment? Yeah. Usually you don't want to wait that long.
The eye test says decent things. The statistics don't.
Yeah, some of the peripherals are like decent. Like, he's hitting the ball hard, but you're not getting the result. So when, typically when you do that, you want to just kind of stay the course. But I do feel like there are times where there's just a lot of moving pieces in the swing that you can probably try to pare down right now. And you know what? Again, I referenced this earlier. Seattle's tough, but a lot of teams go into Sacramento and get hot and then get that feeling back and run from there. So maybe we'll see that as the turning point in Royce Lewis' season. Just, hitting the balls, maybe they leave the park, real confidence comes back and we see him go. And then we get a full complement of the Twins offense. And that is kind of like what I think we're all waiting for that.
Well, that's the crazy thing is, just to go back from 5 weeks ago or whatever, and their season's on the brink of being over and they're buried. And now they're sitting here a bunch of games over 500. They've got the, third best run differential in the American League. And I think it's going to click at some point for Royce. We'll see if it's in 5 days or in a month, but you're going to get Buxton back. In theory, you're going to get some sort of crazy run from Royce Lewis for like 2 months. And maybe you get a Wallner, a Keyshaw. Like you can see, and we've done this before with different Twin seasons. We're like, oh, look where they are. And they're going to get these things back. And then something goes haywire. So I don't want to go too far, but this could be really good. The fact that they're winning games and they've gotten their way, 5 games over 500. And Royce Lewis has really not joined the party yet, and he will at some point.
You're looking at some of the numbers right now, and it's kind of like on par with I think what everyone is seeing. He's hitting the 4-seam fastball, so things that are straight. That you should be able to hit that. Right now, pretty much anything with movement on it, he's not hitting. So that tells me the mechanics are off just a little bit. Like I said, little too much movement, maybe too much head movement up and down, and you're just getting off the barrel just enough where you're not having that quality of contact that you really want consistently, at least. So there are times where you just got to spread out and just try to barrel the ball up as best as possible. Again, like once you do that, you can kind of go back. When you find that time, you can go back to doing the things that you really feel comfortable doing. But you have to make adjustments throughout the year, and that could be one of them for him.
Yeah, I think he's still. I mean, you watch him even like on ground balls, like he's not going full throttle speed down the line. And to be honest, with the hamstring strain that he suffered, he probably shouldn't be just running like Chandler Simpson essentially out there. Like he's going to be a little slower than normal. But yeah, it's for a guy that really, I know he famously said, I don't do slumps, and then kind of slumped.
He's been in a slump since.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
But even, I think I am a little surprised that, all right, we've got 61 now at bats here. You can give him a little bit of grace. I do wonder when it consistently starts clicking. It should start happening here soon, but also they need this dude to obviously start getting going at the plate. He's been fine in the field. In fact, he's been impressive in the field, not even just fine. He's been impressive in the field. But they need this dude to start hitting here pretty dang quick because Wallner's coming back, Buxton probably coming back, and now you get your full strength 1 through 9 lineup instead of, all due respect to all the other guys that have stepped up here. You get to have your lineup that you envision having on opening day, and it's finally coming to fruition.
I'm going there. Not that this is gonna mean anything necessarily, but I'm gonna sit and talk to Royce because I like to get in the cage and do that. I think one thing that he probably needs to hear is, hey, man, like, you're not going anywhere. Like, you're in the big leagues. You're going to be in the big leagues. So, like, just take a deep breath and understand that the numbers I'm not going to say we hope. I'm going to say the numbers are going to be there at the end of the year. Continue just to go. Do your routine. Get it going. Because in the back of his mind, I'm sure he's like, man, like, I stink right now. And, like, what's going to happen? Sometimes you just need that assurance. Like, hey, man, like, it's a long season. I'm going to get all these at-bats. I'm going to get an opportunity to do it. I know I am this type of big leaguer, so let's just go out and do it. I'm curious. I'm curious to see actually what his mindset is right now, and you can't know it unless you're talking to him candidly.
I can see the column already. Cody Clemens has surpassed Royce Lewis in the Twins pecking order.
I don't think so. I mean, Cody Clemens. I hope he continues to produce.
Exactly.
But man, we need Royce, baby. We need him.
Cody's a great story. It's a fantastic story.
Can I give you guys, since we're kind of doing a hybrid state of the Twins, I have a favorite Twins thing, one of our categories. It's It's actually two things combined into one here. Number one, Pablo Lopez is having the best season of his career. So he was 7th in Cy Young voting his first year with the Twins, his only All-Star season. And his ERA right now is a run and a half less than it was in 2023. His fielding independent pitching, or FIP, is almost a full run lower than it was 2 years ago. And his whip is like 20 or 30% better than his career average, like across the board. And then also, this is your weekly Bailey Ober chipping away at the astronomical ERA he set in Game 1 update. So since the 8-run, 2 2/3 disaster where he was under the weather, second season in a row this has happened. Bailey Ober, the Twins are 8-2 in the 10 games he has started since then, and he has in those games a 2.28 earned run average, a 3.11 fielding independent pitching, 43-10 strikeout to walk ratio, and he's largely just been, he had the one clunker against Baltimore, but other than that, he's been awesome. And he finally has the ERA under 3.5. He didn't even need till June to get the ERA under 3.5 after 8 earned runs in the first start, boys.
Oh, that's what he does. I mean, it is really funny how the seasons have mirrored each other from last year and this year. Just, bad start to open, and then he just quality start king the rest of the way. You didn't even mention Joe Ryan throwing the ball the way he's throwing. I mean, I don't think you were here. We talked about, do the Twins have an ace? And we said, maybe they have a bunch of like 2 starters. I think we got to start rethinking that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like maybe they have 3 aces, and we just have all been doubting them for so long. If they continue to pitch the way they've pitched, I think you have to say that.
So they have 3 Roger Clemens and a Cody Clemens, basically.
Okay, so ace is an interesting term for people, because I feel like if I'm really talking about an ace, I feel like there's 10 aces in all of baseball.
Yeah.
One starter doesn't mean you're an ace. Tarek Skubal is a freaking ace. So that's where I struggle, and I feel like I'm always talking crap about our pitchers when I'm like, we don't really have a true ace. But like, I don't know. I just hold that word in such high regard. But maybe I got to start thinking differently about our guys, because Chris Paddock has been fucking phenomenal as well. I know he got tagged for a couple of runs there when Stewart gave the home run, but I mean, he's like striking people out and not walking anybody. He's like doing the things that aces do.
They have 4 aces now, is what
I don't know about that one.
We've gone from Trevor on a preseason call with his colleagues being like, I don't see the pitching, and now they have 4 aces.
For the John Boy Show, you should invent, what we need is another term. Like ace is like godly. Like they're not aces. They're very good though. So what should be the new term to describe those guys?
Okay, it needs to be an index, and it needs to be who's like the lowest on the ace rung. A guy who was an ace, but it's like he represents the line for if you're. Sure. It's the I'm trying to think
here. Yeah,
it's the Mark Pryors that he's injured. He was an ace when he was healthy, but who's that guy that's like, okay, he's an ace.
So the kids now they do tiers.
Yep.
So
it's the John Lackey index. It's the John Lackey index.
Okay.
High S tier is the highest, which I don't understand at all. And then it's A tier and B, whatever it is. So there's S tier aces, and there's A tier aces. I'm trying to think of the guy that would be at the end of it. So off the top of my head, let's see if we can name all the aces in baseball. Tarek Skubal is one of them. Garrett Crochet is another one. Paul Skeens is one. Probably put Chris Sale there as well. And then I start to, I guess, draw blanks of where I'm going with ace.
Well, then you go the 4 Twins aces would be in there. So
Yamamoto right now is an ace. So that's 5.
Is Max Fried an ace right now? He's having a hell of a year.
See, I think I would draw the line at Max Fried. I think it's a good one, like an end of the ace. I know he's having a great year, and he's had a phenomenal career as well. Go check out his overall numbers. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves, besides that massive payday. He might be a good one. End of the ace column would be Max Fried. That's a good one.
So with the tiers, would he be an S tier or an A tier then?
For Max, that would be the end of the S tier. Okay. But I don't even think Max. I don't think Max is on the S tier. I think S
so he's on the A tier. He's the first on the A tier.
S tier is Skubal.
Yeah.
Skeens.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Draw that line.
Like really pushing to be on that too,
dude. And like Chris Bubich the other day for
Yeah,
the Royals. This is insane.
Chris
Where is
Bubich
this?
His numbers
leads
are
all
great.
pitchers
and
and
Tyler
wins.
Mahle for the Rangers is having a great year as well. It's like those guys aren't on the S tier though.
No.
But Bubich leads all starting pitchers in wins above replacement so far this year.
He's
Yeah.
He's already been worth 3.5 wins above replacement. We're
He's
not
not
even
an
to
S tier guy.
June yet.
Yeah, no way.
He's
No
not
way.
S
You don't
tier.
just get to enter
Thank
the
you.
S tier club
You know what?
because you're
for
hot.
someone
in
of your age to
June.
understand the tier level like this so quickly, it's very impressive.
Oh, I'm up with the kids, Trev.
That's right.
Like
He's
I
the
know what the
sports
kids are. Yeah, exactly right. I'm in tune. A tier. So wait, so who's the Twins? So to go back to their pitchers, who is their top A tier guy? Like if there's an A tier Twins pitcher, Pablo. But I mean, Joe Ryan's been really good. Bailey's incredibly consistent.
I
aside
think
from his-
I think you can A tier Pablo and Joe, and B tier
Bailey. Yes. Yes.
Not a slight at him. I just think
No.
that's kind of what we would do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a
And
line.
I don't think we have an S tier pitcher, and that's fine because there's only 4 of them in the
Right.
league. You know, it's like
Right.
In terms of just like stuff in general, like Pablo and Joe have better stuff than Bailey. Not to say Billy doesn't have good stuff, but there is, I think, a line to
Just
draw
sort of said
after
that, Declan.
Pablo
It's
and
okay
Joe.
though.
You keep
Yeah.
disrespect.
Like you're putting him
I'm gonna
down.
tell
Fair,
Bailey
it's
that you said
fine.
he stinks. I'm gonna tell him that.
Oh man,
Say it
yeah,
to his
he'll
face.
just 6'9", just crush me with one foot. So I don't want.
Hey,
to
gentlemen,
deal with
I
that.
found it. July 2018. Trevor Plouffe hits a home run in Philly that ends a game that ended on the East Coast at 1:14 a.m. 5 hours and 55 minutes of baseball you brought to an end. You were a godsend to the city of brotherly love that night.
Something
Morning.
that essentially would never happen in the regular season in today's game, right? 'Cause
I don't
there's
think it'll ever
almost
happen again.
Nope.
And it was actually my last hit ever in the big leagues too. How about that?
Oh,
What?
Yeah, it's a weird way to go out, but you know,
No kidding.
That's actually an incredible. Jason Stark would love that nugget. I feel like trivia
Gabe
guy.
Kapler and I shared a massive hug in the dugout too. He was so happy. He wanted to beat the Dodgers, very badly. He wanted to be the manager of the Dodgers. He, interviewed. He was been a part of their organization. They ended up going with Dave Roberts, and he was really upset about that. So he wanted to win. And then I do remember after that game, John Middleton, the owner of the Phillies, came in the clubhouse. It was wild. He took his shirt off. The guy's roped up, old guy, jacked up, got abs, and yeah, where it was like it was like we were partying. It was like 1 a.m, dude.
July baseball.
Yeah,
God,
Let's
I
go,
love it.
dude.
6 hours of baseball, and you brought
It
it
was
to
a lot.
an end.
it was a lot.
Well, here's your S tier of podcast. This is the SKOR North Twins Show every Tuesday with Trevor Plouffe. You can go find his work at John Boy too. Hit the like button and subscribe button. We'll have some bonus content throughout this long road trip the Twins are on. So appreciate everyone who has supported the SKOR North Twins Show. Please do so as well. We'll be talking at you soon.